What's up, y'all? I hope all is well. I'm gonna try to make this short-winded, but I don't know if that's possible. So here we go. So as you know, from the last festering days, as you know, Jesus. Irv Gotti is on Drink Champs, spilling the beans. He's talking greasy about Ashanti, and honestly, I don't think it's cool. I really don't. I don't think it's cool. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. But he talking greasy, speaking about their sexual encounters.
How you doing? What's the lowest down payment? What's that? That Honda Accord seal?
Yeah, I mean, you called her like 4 or 5 times.
I know.
You didn't went up north on me too.
And I was supposed to get this truck, and then he just when I left.
You didn't even.
He had a 30 review for 12 down.
Well, I mean, but I'm saying that was before that though. You would, if I would have did the application with me, you could have. What I'm saying, because at the end of the day, him doing the application up there, guess what? It's gonna get sent to me. So I'm gonna see it. So I could have guessed. But
Okay.
I mean, I'm off today. I've been here all morning and I've been shaking. So I can call you tomorrow if you want. Because I got some other stuff being dropped off.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
All right. Work is never done, y'all. Work is never done. Work. Off, you're not off. Ooh, let me get in this car.
GPS signal locked.
As you know, as I was saying, Irv Gotti got on Drink Champs and talked about an array of things on Drink Champs. But one of the subjects that he spoke about was Ashanti. He mentioned that him and Ashanti basically had a relationship, and how he was heartbroken on the fact that he felt that he was being twisted in the wind after indictment and everything that was coming. He felt like she didn't support Murder Inc. So, with that being said, one person's interpretation of support can be different from another. But for the most part, to add insult to injury, he had an intimate relationship with Ashanti, allegedly. I hate saying allegedly, but I have to because you're not there. But, you know, sometimes people body language kind of tell on themselves. Do I believe that Irv Gotti is lying about that? As much as I think he has an ego issue, I don't believe he's lying in regard to that. I don't believe he's lying. Now, he didn't lose whatever he had to lose. He had already lost. His relationship was bad with his wife anyway, but to make matters worse, I think back in those times, I think that his wife did kind of suspect that there was something going on, but she couldn't prove it. Because I think they had the show and she would talk about it on the show that they had. He claimed that he loved his wife so much and loved his family, da. I just feel like this was another reason that I feel that the way he carrying on in regards to how he handling his business with his personal life is straight up ridiculous. Like, it's buffoonery at its best. You can't say out of one end that you love your family, but you do things to humiliate them or to embarrass them at every turn. Even if you and your wife ain't together, my dude, it's like you getting on national platform for the whole world to hear and see how your love and affection towards Ashanti was so strong that you didn't give a fuck and consider how your kids gonna feel about this, how your former wife gonna feel about this, because I believe that they were still married, if not separated, but still legally married. Because y'all was having problems in y'all relationship, and majority of it was bored towards you. Now, I can't say if she ever did anything, but what we do know, publicly, you've been in the center of a whole mess in regards to his marriage. And it seems to me he don't care. And I don't get that. I don't understand it. So it's like, for me, should I have any type of sympathy for this guy? No. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Irv know what he's doing, man. And I feel like even now, Ashanti is far removed from Murder Inc. It's been 20 years since all this stuff supposedly supposed to happen. And you still bringing it up. You still not over it, dog. Like Nori said, like the Breakfast Club alluded to, is that he not over. But it's like, to me, what is it to get over? And I say to Ashanti, I hate that this is going on and she got to be in the middle of this. But then again, I don't feel sorry for her, because if she indeed did sleep with her and was messing with her, knowing that he had a situation at the house, which I believe she did, may have something happen, I don't feel sorry for her. And because a lot of these gals get put on a pedestal like they don't have, okay, so you got men that have whorish tendencies, right? That's what women say, right? Well, women do too. So with that being said, she's not no angel, is what I'm saying. She's not no angel. So if she did mess with her, you know what I'm saying? Now, I can't say this. Now, I mean, the only out that she got is, did she know all the particulars going in? Maybe, maybe not. That's probably about it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, because people do that, where they can be married and they be talking all this bad stuff about their significant other and about how they ain't doing this, how they ain't doing that, and you know, they're on the verge of being divorced, or they being divorced, and the people ain't selling their papers, signing their papers, they hold stuff up, etc., etc. This stuff do happen, but then you got circumstances that people just be selling wolf tickets, and they ain't gonna go nowhere. They'll be into it for a week, and then they'll be back together again. And those type of people will get you killed. And that's one thing we all should learn from. If you ever been in that type of situation, people can get you killed. You know, it's like, hey, trouble situation. It's a prime example of that. It's a prime example of that. Trouble situation is a prime example. Prime example of that. Trouble situation. Prime example. Yep, this situation is a prime example of that. Like, dude, you in the way. Prime example of that is that this gal supposedly broke up with this dude like a couple of weeks ago or 2-3 weeks ago. And that apartment that she shared with him, Trouble got killed in, was an apartment that they had together. She messy, bruh. I don't care what nobody say. That motherfucking broad was messy. You just broke up with this dude 3 weeks ago and you already got somebody in your bed, that a bed you share with you and your guy at y'all apartment. He's on the lease at the apartment. You put him out. That's some sucker shit. And my thing is, you say y'all ain't together, 1 minute y'all together, 1 minute y'all not. Dude don't know how to say, don't want to say no, or don't want to let go. Them type of cats, man. There's a lot of women out here, man. Let her have that nigga. If she want to keep going back and forth, if she want to get her head cracked, let her get her head cracked. I don't believe in violence, but you're not going to put me in no dangerous situation and then be talking out the side of your neck. Because a lot of these gals be pillow talking. They be pillow talking and tell you one thing, and then when they get in the presence of that dude, they gonna make it seem like you after them, or make it seem like you getting on their nerves, or you bothering them, or whatever. You stalking them, and you ain't stalking them whatsoever. Like, she texting you, she calling you, trying to see what's going on with you. She don't know how to cut ties with homeboy. That's the bottom line. She done got too deep in a situation where homeboy hard to shake. He ain't gonna let you go. It's one of them type of situations where if I can't have you, nobody else can't. There's a lot of that shit going on. These dudes rather throw their whole fucking life away over some pussy that they don't fucking own. That they don't have no control of. Bad enough they don't have control over their own fucking life, and you got the nerve to try to control somebody's pussy, let alone somebody's life. Nigga, please. And I said it, nigga, please. Like, Irv, what life was in shambles. Yeah, he got a lot of success, but where did that lead him? You know, he had situations on his jacket in regards to with 50. You talking tough and you not. He was talking tough, talking heavy, like he was in the streets, and he was not in the streets. He wasn't in the streets. The guy that was behind him or associated with him by name, Supreme, was the guy that had the reputation in the streets. Not Gotti, not Chris Gotti, not Irv Gotti. To be clear. That's why if people get deep into it, the story is deep when it comes to Murder Inc. Because even some of the Supreme team members, meaning second in command, Bimmy, which is Deb Abney brother, which is Waka Flocka's mother. Deb Abney is Waka Flocka's mother. Bimmy is Waka Flocka's uncle. He was the second dude in command for the Supreme team, which is for what I gathered, he was one of his dudes in the streets. He turned his life around. He got out the streets. But the bottom line was he sided with 50. He sided with 50 throughout this whole ordeal. He have never said anything out the way or out of pocket about 50. At all. he always big 50 up, and he's always alluded that he didn't really care for Murder Inc. In the sense of, in so many words, them guys wasn't in the streets. 50 is, and he's saying it without saying it. He's being publicly PC about it, but he said that everything 50 talk about, he about that. 50 is. And it's coming from Bimmy, a real respectful street dude. Real respectable street dude. So, if he's saying that and he from Queens on top of that, it gotta be some truth to that. And I believe him over Murder Inc. any day. How about that? So, and I know I'm going on a tangent, but all this stuff is tied on and related to the subject, because there was alleged that Supreme had put money up to start Murder Inc. Right? So he was looking for his return at some point in time. He was fighting the case. They was coming after him, and he was subject to getting public defenders. Irv talked and threw around stuff about him doing this and that for Supreme, and he said, according to him, they friends and da-da-da. Okay, fine. And then not too long after that, the feds started coming after them, because they knew there was a relationship there. But Irv, to his credit, he did not deny the fact that they didn't have a relationship. He never said that they didn't have a relationship. He said they was friends. It's alleged that he may have been getting extorted. As far as the relationship goes between those two, can't say it's true. But to make a long story short, he had a piece of Murder Inc. Talking about Supreme, allegedly. The feds started investigating him, and the rest was history. But even with that, when they was investigating Murder Inc., they also was investigating Rap-A-Lot. They also was investigating or coming after Death Row. All these entities. And then, truth be told, for what we find out later, they was coming after Dame too. But Jay-Z don't talk about that. But my common denominator, even with that, is Jay-Z. There's a video online where Professor Griff talks about how Jay-Z went to the powers that be and started talking like a hummingbird. And then all of a sudden, all those guys got cases on them. They was trying to build them an all-black distribution company where they didn't have to go through the majors no more. And the agreement was to put $30 million a piece in it. Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, Dame Dash was the fourth person, but that Dame Dash, I believe, may have told Jay Prince to leave his name out his book, because they asked Jay Prince before he dropped his book, was it anybody he had to consult as far as telling certain stories that he had to consult with first before he put their name in there. He said, yeah, there was a few, but he didn't name names. But it was Professor Griff that actually put it out there in the late 90s, early 2000s, where he did an interview with a podcast or a live interview with somebody, and they put it online, where he said that all four of them, it was four people that was putting $30 million a piece up to start a distribution company. And that's Suge Knight, Irv Gotti, Jay Prince, and Dame Dash. All four of them, soon as that word got out about that, all four of them had feds coming after them. And the word around the campfire was Jay-Z had something to do with it. That he may have been talking to the higher-ups. And through their connections, sick the feds on all four of them. At the time, I think Suge went to jail. Suge went to jail, eventually went to jail. Jay Prince, you know the story with him. He beat his case. He beat it. They was coming after him. He beat it. Murder Inc. beat it. You know what I'm saying? So it was quite an interesting ride, to say the least. But some of this stuff, I can't say if some of this stuff might get addressed in the doc or not. But I would assume some of it would be touched on, because it's coincidental that all this stuff happened before he got the feds start coming after him, as far as trying to do the distribution company. But yeah, Ashanti, I feel like this. I feel sorry for her in the grounds that let bygones be bygones. It's old. It's old. Don't bring it up. Don't rehash or reopen an old wound. It's like this stuff has been touched on. And just because she get in front of the camera and say what she didn't do, don't mean it didn't happen. This people got to understand that too. Sometimes people got to say stuff just to save face. They got to save face. They don't want to make themselves look bad. What that girl look like coming on a public platform and saying that she had a relationship with Irv, knowing that the possibility this man was married or still legally married but separated. Whatever the case it was, he was still married at the time when he started fucking around with Ashanti, allegedly. So cut the malarkey, cut the bullshit. She ain't no angel. I don't believe her to be no angel. But what I do believe, what Irv is doing is wrong. He's more guilty than she is, because he's the one with the commitment, not Shanti. Only thing you can say if she knew or if she didn't know. That's about it. But once, a lot of times, man, you got people, you do got people that don't care out there. They don't care, even if you get married. And they'll try to mess with you anyway, as long as they get what they want. You do got people out there that don't care. But a lot of times, people that's married and they want to play, they not going to tell you everything. They going to leave you twisted in the wind, but they going to serve you up a story that can come off to be very believable, where make you believe that they getting a divorce or they doing this and that, and this person ain't this and that, and sell you a bag of goods. And then you get into it, and then you find out they not who they are, and they not lying, they not telling the truth. So, hey, if a person lie to you, I know people get married, get with a person, and they've been with them for years, and the person never knew that they was married, got a whole family on the other side of town. They tell you what things together. And it's like, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do? The only thing you can do is believe them until further notice. But people lie. People lie. People lie, man. They do. And then they'll get with people, right? They'll get with people under false pretense. Meaning that you will get with that person knowing the house, the foundation that you built that situation on is built on sand. The way you got them was bad. So how in the hell you think you gonna have the nerves to ask God to hold something together that you ruined to get? Like you had a situation, this person had a situation before you, or maybe currently still, and the way y'all getting together is not. God had nothing to do with that. God, you had something to do with that, not God. So, yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm like, man, that shit is funny. That stuff is funny, man. Funny. It's funny. It's funny. It's fucking funny. So, it's like some people make demands and stuff that they can't, you know, they ain't in a position to make. Yeah. Too many demands, too many expectations. It's like, man, you need to knock that shit off. It's like, you know damn well. I mean, these dudes, some of these dudes be cracking me up, man. It's like, you got a lot of cats like Irv, where you messing around on your significant other. You trying to pull rank on the other people. You got some girls like that too, where you know they playing around in the field, and they'll tell you flat out, well, you can't mess with this person, you can't mess with that person, and you only get a chance to see them on the weekends. And you wonder why you only see them on the weekends, only find out they got a whole different situation. You ain't never, the signs are always there. They don't give, you been rocking with them where you ain't got no, well, I guess if you don't pay no bills, you can't really expect to keep. But you ain't never been in their house. You ain't never spent the night at their house. They only could come see you on certain times. They only could call you on certain times. That is fishy to me. I don't care what nobody say, man or woman. That means it's possible that you got another situation. You ain't got to necessarily be in no serious relationship with the person, but y'all can just be fucking around. Y'all can just have a casual relationship. This might be somebody that you've been fucking around with for years off and on, and they around, but y'all ain't no item. So they do their thing, you do your thing. But it's like you ain't never really pursued to try to start nothing serious with nobody else because you like your arrangement with this person to where you can just do what you want, no strings attached. But you know, when y'all around, y'all do y'all thing. Yeah, I hear you. But every good thing must come to an end at some point. Some point in time, some people gonna outgrow that, where they gonna be looking for you to step up and do something new. Y'all been with each other long enough, been around each other long enough to like, you can stop playing house. What you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just something to think about. It's like this Irv situation. It can be a teachable moment if it's allowed to do what it's supposed to do. It's like, man, that shit's messy, dog. Anybody says not, you're full of shit. You're full of shit, man. It's messy. I believe he slept with Ashanti. I believe that part is real. Because I just don't believe that a man could be this up in arms about no woman unless they had some type of sexual contact. Now, in his defense, he got two things going, going. You got the sexual contact, if there was sexual contact done between these two individuals. But you got money tied into it too. So he mixed business with pleasure. Because he made her a star. He made her a star. So he got a lot of money he put up to make her get to this point. So if they reviving Murder Inc. and he owns the masters to everything, he just sold, I think, 50% of his masters. 50% of his masters he sold for $300 million. But he also get like TV stuff where he can use, it's basically money to fund other stuff. So with that being said, it's like I say with Irv, man, you never know with that dude. It's like he one of them type of cats, he come off to be like he got a real ego problem. And then not only that, once he got an axe to grind, he hold on to it. And to me, that's women traits. To me, that's what women do. And to be honest, us men can do that from time to time. But I think that the way we go about when we hold grudges with people is a whole lot different with women than women. Women can go to their graves and sustain that shit for quite a long time versus a man. Men, I don't think men had a capability to sustain a grudge for that a period of time. And it depends on who is the grudge is against and what it's about. With women, it don't matter. It don't matter. If they don't like you, they don't like you. It's simple as that. Once they don't like you, they don't like you. Unless it's a money play. Unless it's a money play and there's something in it for them, they don't like it. Pure point blank. End the story. It ain't no rap. If they ain't got no financial component to it, they ain't fucking with you. And you know I ain't lying. So, give me a second, y'all. Hold on just 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, so get back to what I was saying. I mean, with him, like I said, he got two things that he fighting against: a money situation, a money component, and then also he fighting the fact that he had some type of relationship with this girl beyond a business relationship. I really believe that Irv did love Ashanti. I believe that he was in love with Ashanti. But he allowed his feelings to override his business. He allowed his second head to take over his body than the head on his shoulders, if you know what I mean. And that clouded not only his judgment, but it ruined relationships. It ruined his family, I can imagine. Because you know that stuff gonna get back to his wife. They had a show, and she used to say little stuff on there. And he talk about trying to confess his love to her and make things right with her. And here you is again on Drink Champs, bringing that shit up, talking about how much he was in love with the girl. Oh, really? This ain't the same Irv that was on his show talking about he confessing his love to his wife and trying to make it right and not ruin his family and all this type of shit. Really? Man, these dudes talking on both sides of their neck, man. and making us look stupid bad. Like, if I mean, as men, period. Like, not. I mean, you can't make nobody look bad that ain't never done nothing like that. That is not in trouble. That don't do that type of stuff. But as a whole, as men, yeah, man, you making us look super bad out here, bro. Like, you making yourself look like you desperate, and you ain't over that shit, man. It's like, bro, that woman ain't your woman. And like I said once, and I say it again, no man owns no woman. No woman owns no man. I seen some type of post, I was gonna comment on it, where associate of mine put a post something about a man changing, then change the man. If you can't change him, change the man. Here's the thing, you can't never change no man. So that's faulty. The whole little meme or whatever that is I seen, that shit is bullshit. You cannot change no man. A man got to be willing to want to change for himself first, to show by him changing himself is saying that he want to be a better man for not only himself, but for you as well. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but don't sit up here and telling me, talking about, you can't change no man. You can't change no man, y'all. You can't. A man can't change no woman and her behaviors. Whatever she choose to be is because she choose to be that, regardless of how many people that love her and so on and so forth. You run into many circumstances. So you can't change a man if you're a woman or whoever decides to deal with a man rather for that moment, because that's what we dealing with nowadays. You can't change no man, and you can't change no woman. Period. It's something, that act has to be willing by the participant themselves. They gotta want to change, not just for an individual, because you can change for an individual for a season, for a couple of days, for a year, or whatever so have you, with an agenda, a bad agenda. Because some people can just change. Put it like this, I can give you an example. Some people can, like, alright, to keep the peace, they ain't gonna argue with you, they ain't gonna be petty with you. So as long as they get child support and get some money from you. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. So you got some dudes that might play it like that too, where they ain't gonna go back and forth with the gal. They getting child support or whatever or whatnot. Let's say the girl ain't doing child support on it. They gonna play it in such a way, of course, they ain't gonna try to make no big deal about it, because they ain't gonna ruffle no feathers. Because if they do, old girl might come after them. Little stuff like that. So people do little things to try to keep the peace. And then you got some people do little things to manipulate people to get what they want, in a negative type of way. So yeah, it's crazy. So the way I look at it is, just, keep all your ducks in a row, man. Keep all your ducks in a row and have all your affairs in order. Because this type of stuff happens more regular than what you think. It's just that we dealing with individuals on a higher scale, and it's money, big money involved. You say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, her name gonna come up as far as Ashanti, because she was part of that history. She helped part of that history musically, in regards to Murder Inc. You can't erase her out of that. if you do the doc, you can't do the doc without her being mentioned in the doc. Because if she don't get mentioned in the doc, then guess what? People gonna be like, oh, you know, you being petty, Irv, you doing this, you doing that. You know what I'm saying? So you can't win for lose. You can't win for lose. You cannot win for lose. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, we deal with this more than what people allude on and think. People just be lying, they be flogging, man. Fucking flogging. They do. Shout out to Dolph, man. R.I.P. Whole P.R.E., man. Family, much love and respect, man. Yeah. Like, man, that shit crazy. But it's true. Like, man, there's a whole lot of bullshit in the game. A whole lot of bullshit in the game, man. Real talk. A whole lot of bullshit in the game. Yep. Yep. A whole lot of bullshit, man. But next thing I do want to address is Fat Joe. Fat Joe, as you know, he also had his issues with 50. They have mended the fences because they have a similar ally in Chris Lighty that passed away. With that being said, him and 50 is cool, right? That couldn't be good as far as the Murder Inc. count, because they cool with Fat Joe, and they was able to still be cool, which that was surprising. I'm surprised Irv didn't be petty and just stop being cool with Fat Joe because he cool with 50, right? But some came up where you got Irv Gotti was saying all this stuff about Ashanti, and Fat Joe on his platform, he spoke on it and referred to Irv Gotti as a sucker. For doing that. And he said, man, that stuff happened over 20 years ago. Seemed like you couldn't let it go. And even if they did mess around, he didn't know nothing about it. He didn't see that. Personally, I think they heard about it. I just think that Fat Joe is taking the high road. He's not saying it didn't happen. But what he is saying, it could have been a more tactful way on Irv going about it. I agree with that. I don't like dudes like that. Like when dudes do that. Now, showing the hell don't like when females do it either. It's like, man, look. You got some situations where people wouldn't do you right with the opportunity that they had with you, they didn't do you right. They didn't have the nerve to not only not do you right, but come to find out they got a whole situation somewhere else. And they expect you to be faithful and dedicated to them and only them. When you got a whole situation somewhere else, so you giving somebody else your time that rightfully so deserve it, and they was there before me particularly. So a person could be mad about that, but my thing is let somebody know what they getting themselves into and let them make the choice on if they want to deal with you on those terms or not. When you not honest and you being deceitful and you're not really being honest with the situation, then basically in retrospect you lying. Some people say, well, no, you ain't. Well, when you withholding information that you know for a fact that it will be a deal breaker between you and that person, then you wrong, flat out. It ain't no way to get around that. You wrong. So if Irv didn't disclose to that girl what was the circumstance between him and his wife, then shame on Irv. But if she knew that, you know how these dudes are, man. He might have been separated, but how you doing? Let me get let's see. You know what? Let me get a number 10. Yes, ma'am. And let me get 2 pieces of cheese on it, on the top and bottom. And then could I go ahead. I said this strawberry is gonna be large. Yes, ma'am. That's what I was about to say. And then can I get a small order of fries on the side? Yep. Chocolate shake, medium chocolate shake. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Medium. And then one of those Fanta slushies, blue one. That's it. Yeah. Go ahead. Now it's a large 10. No, you good. Yep. All right. Yeah, y'all. So as I was saying, there's a lot of situations like that, man. People, like I said, people serve their own self-interest a lot of times, and they don't care about nobody but themselves, and they'll get you killed, man. And some people, you got women that's out there that just there for sex, and some is there just for not just the sex, the money too, the fame and all that. And then, you know, once you ain't got that or you can't offer them that, they go on to the next person. And then the same thing goes with the dudes, you know. We rarely be in situations where it's a gal that's rich and got more money than us and trying to take care of us, so on and so forth. So that's rarely the case, but more or less, a lot of these guys is in it just for one thing. And then once you can't fulfill that one thing, they out. If they can't use you or manipulate you or make no money off you, or, you know, in Ashanti's case, you know, you done. Some people blackball you. Some people block you out the industry, in that type of industry or any job setting, if they no longer believe your services is required. So, as I would always say, you got to guard your grill. BG said best, guard your grill. So, but what Fat Joe, I'm with Fat Joe on it. It's like, hey, what you did, that is some sucker shit. Flat out. It's like, man, you could have kept that to yourself. Nobody needed to know that. You can tell the Murder Inc. story without saying y'all personal exploits. You can. So I think that there was a shot, like you was trying to hurt that girl, but at the same time, he was trying to take his little dig at Nelly too. And to me, Nelly ain't got nothing to do with that either. It's like, dog, you wrong on that too. It's like, okay, look, the girl was single. She not married. So, you know, if it's an underlying thing that you know, that was something like, if she, now here's the thing, she could be telling Nelly that it ain't nothing there between her and Irv, and she can be lying about that, getting them caught up in some stuff. So, you know, not telling the truth, like, you know, rightfully, you know, not telling him the truth. He might be getting in a situation where some fatal attraction type of shit. Irv got more power in the industry than Nelly is as an executive. But at the same token, Nelly took off fast for his first album. So he got a little pull himself because of the records he sold. And at that pocket, at that time, he was the biggest thing, biggest fish. As far as an artist, but as far as executive, Irv was a power player. So he can pull the strings, but he can't pull a lot of strings because Nelly was the biggest thing over there at Universal. As far as an artist concerned, I can't see him blocking nothing for Nelly unless he was on a downslope. I can see that, and he was still up, then I can see that. But at that time frame when all that stuff was going on, nah. But you gotta look at all that shit. All that shit counts across the board. Yep. But all right. What? Nah, it's cool. Out this angle, I gotta make a cut turn. Yeah. Here you go. Okay. I'm here, y'all. I'm getting my food. Trying to get a little grub. But yeah, that shit crazy, man. But I even side with Nelly on that too. Like, some straight sucker shit, man. Player. I mean, and on another side, boy, it ain't got nothing to do with this conversation, but I'ma say it. I think him and Ashanti, Nelly and Ashanti, made a great couple, beautiful couple. And I mean, I'm setting aside any type of musical opinions or whatever. As a man, he won with that. I felt like they was going in a direction of marriage, my opinion. I feel like they made a very, I wouldn't say, I let a woman say cute couple, but I thought their union was beautiful. I don't know. Thank you. I thought their union was beautiful. That's just me. Yeah. I kind of wish that I kind of was a little bummed out to see that they broke up. Because I really thought they was going to last. I don't know. It could have been a strain. That strain with Irv and going back and forth because all that stuff was happening too. But homeboy was player hate. He was player hating on the sidelines, man. Real heavy. Thank you. Oh, okay. That's the one bag. Okay, right. Oh, then I get some small fries with that too. You ain't put the small fries on the side for that? I was supposed to get another fry, yeah. Yeah, man, I'm chilling. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all have a nice night. I say y'all have a pleasant evening. All right, no problem. You too. I will. But yeah, I really thought that they made a great couple. Honestly, I really did. Yeah, I really did. So, oh yeah. Yeah, I really did. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. But like I said, as far as the 50 component, coincidentally, right around the same time frame recently, 50 makes his appearance on the Breakfast Club. Breakfast Club, particularly Charlamagne the God, asked 50 if they reached out to him to put him in the Murder Inc. Documentary, which I thought was a stupid ass question, because you know damn well 50 Cent and Murder Inc. don't get along. Why you keep instigating shit? I don't think at this point you instigate, because you know the man don't fuck with them. So even if they did call him, why would he accept? Now, here's the thing. That could make it juicy. It could make it interesting, because then it'll get people talking like, damn, or they on talking terms now. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't believe is going to be impossible, because, again, I go back to this all the time. People talk about forgiveness like it's easy. Ain't shit, nothing about forgiveness is easy to a prideful person, especially a prideful person. So let's get that straight. If it's a person that has rarely said anything kind to anybody, let alone if a person don't say anything positive, man, it's just gonna be a hard sell, dude. But then you gotta add in, you gotta factor in 50's case, that it was several attempts on his life with people associated to these individuals. My dude, bruh, no. We not gonna be cool. You try to take my life, we not gonna be cool. If you make threats on my life, we not gonna be cool. Because now I got to look at you, or I got to go to sleep with one eye open and one eye closed. One eye closed. No, man. No, that's asking for much. Too much. Like, we can coexist, meaning that we can be, I can see you, depending on who's speaking, I might decide to speak, or may not say nothing. Me allowing you to move around and not retaliate, if my resources is up and yours is down, is bare minimum the best thing for you. I don't gotta be your best friend. I ain't gotta be cool with you. We ain't gotta be cool. We ain't gotta do no business. I don't even gotta do any harm to none of your people. Nobody associated with you. But if you in 50 shoes, it's safe to say that 50 resources is way bigger, and his reach is bigger than Murder Inc.'s now. Right? So with that being said, he don't, like he said in the interview, like, I don't need them, they don't need me. You know, and not only that, with the whole Supreme and Irv's relationship, 50 addressed that too. He was like, you know, when they was going through what they was going through, the feds didn't jump down on Irv and them because they suspect that Irv and them had something going on, like they was doing something illegal. No, they came after Irv and them to shut them down to any potential assistance that they may have tried to give Supreme. Because here's the thing, in interviews leading up to that, he's always talked heavy and always talked tough talk in regards to Supreme and what he do and what he's done and stuff like that. He just can't shut his mouth. Hit certain stuff, street stuff, or anything that might relate to that type of world, he say a lot. He say too much to give a lot of interpretation, to say the least. He shines a light. He shines the light on himself too much, as far as Irv concerned. Because he talk a lot about stuff that he don't need to talk in interviews that has nothing to do with nothing. Had nothing to do with the interview. And that's the deal. And that's probably part of the reason why they put a spotlight on him. So a lot of stuff is going on that wouldn't have been aware of it if Irv wouldn't have been talking. So that's that. But my overall opinion in regards to Irv was like, you know, I just look at Irv. He got an ego. He got a big ego. And his pride was hurt. His pride was hurt because Ashanti moved on and she got with Nelly. And I would consider him a winner. And he didn't like that. He a hater. He a hater. One can not like somebody's music. And he take pop shots too, the country gamma guy. Really? You might as well say his name, Playboy. Or his entertainment name, rather. Comparing his legal name, but this stuff has been talked about where they was in the same room across paths. Nelly had talked about how it was awkward. Why you think it's awkward? Now, if nothing ever happened between Ashanti and Irv, why would that man be awkward? Why would it be awkward? Because it was talked about that they had some type of thing going on. And I'm confident that him and Ashanti had a conversation about it. Now, whether or not she was fully honest about it, that's a whole different conversation. But I'm sure Nelly may have wanted to have a conversation with her about that because he keep hearing about it. You supposed to be my woman. So it make all the world of sense to question what's going on. Because I gotta make my money. I'm a bigger star than you. Meaning Nelly is a bigger star than Ashanti. It's safe to say. That all of what can be ignored is that, man, he got to go on the East Coast to get some money. To make the money. So you got to go through those parts. So that man going to be in a situation where, possibly be in a situation where he going to run across some Queen steps that might be associated with Irv. You get what I'm saying? So One can talk all the world and shit all they want, but you gotta move around in certain cities. And it's not Irv that you gotta worry about. It's the people around him is who you gotta worry about. But Nelly ain't no punk. He ain't no punk. St. Louis ain't no punk. So, not to be all like that, but I want that to be known too. Is that Nelly, what I understand, Nelly ain't no chump. But he's smart though too. You know, because you ain't in St. Louis, you're away from St. Louis, so you gotta move a certain way when you in other people's cities. But that's common sense. That's common sense, man. Common sense. But again, women will have two men eating out the palm of their hand. And that's a prime example of it. And Nelly was within right to pursue Ashanti if Ashanti is single. And even if she was casually dating, that's what it is, casually dating. There's no commitment. Now granted, it get a little dicey when you got a lot of history with a person. And feelings get involved, yeah. But like, to me, with Nelly being in the middle of that, it was Shanti's responsibility to handle Irv, meaning straighten him out. Like, hey, whatever you thought it was, you need to quell that shit like quick. You let that shit drag on, then don't say nothing, and you should never do that because you putting people in lives in danger. And a whole lot of shit can happen. But women do that shit all the time, though. Well, they playing both sides of the fence. I say this shit all the time. They'll get people killed. You see it on social media, where if you one that's taken after all that, you ain't really tripping, but you laugh about it because it's like, you have people that you was associates with or friends with for years. The way they come at you, the way they have been around you, like they ain't got nobody serious they consider serious with, right? Now, all of a sudden, they've been married for X amount of years. That's how you know you can't trust these motherfuckers, man. If you can't, I'm not saying that you gotta tell all your business, but if you can't even claim your significant other publicly, something wrong with that. That means your agenda ain't right. Meaning, if you entertaining other dudes, there's other dudes inboxing you, talking to you, and you entertaining, you got their number, you pulling up on them. And you got a whole situation at the crib. You weren't happy with homeboy. Or you may have got married with homeboy for the wrong reason. Just keep it real. Keep it solid. Keep it a buck. You got some ratchet, you got some grimy people out there that just don't care. You'll find somebody that don't care. There's always somebody you'll find somebody that don't care, but remember, there are always consequences to that, to your actions. And really all kinds. People get killed, out of passion, over some gal. Or you got some person killing themselves over something. Man, look, as a man, ain't no pussy that good. that I'm gonna take myself out. I'll leave you alone and cut you off. Even if that means that I'll have to suffer a significant loss financially. I have to protect my peace of mind. I know somebody personally, I won't never say their name, but I know somebody personally that got married to somebody. And dude was doing all type of stuff. Dude wasn't taking care of his kids. He got 5 kids with him. They all his. He was married. Stuff got so bad where you know what happened? She said, fuck all that financial stuff. You can keep that shit. I just want my goddamn name back. Now, you know damn well, if a woman tells the judge that they don't want no financial help from you, no child support, no nothing, none of your cars, nothing, your pension, nothing, just give me my name back. You had to do some straight up grimy, dirty, defiled shit to make a girl that disdain with you where she just wanted to get away from your ass. You know that shit is bad. That's bad because it's rare that a woman does that. Now, you do have some rare occasions where y'all have a relationship, y'all have an understanding. And she ain't that type of person where she just trying to milk you for what you got or take advantage of the situation. You really have some, you do have some out there. But that's a very small percentage. That's very rare. Very rare. And even if the courts offer it, the woman saying like, nah, I'm good. I don't want nothing. I just want this over with. Okay. A dude can't pop his shit off that. That's the most honorable thing a woman can ever do. And let you walk without getting anything up out of you. Now, granted, if it's something y'all bought together like a house, I probably would say let her have a house and stuff like that. But anything else, like, let's say my financials and stuff like that, and she got financials coming in, she ain't tripping like that. That's a blessing, man. But that's the advantage of you having a girl that's up too. She might just be like, I don't need your money. But people doing a lot, man. You got some gals that they will throw their life away. Or move around, creep around or whatever for the right price. You do got a lot of women out there like that. But they'll portray themselves as something else publicly. Go out in the forefront with everybody. But like I said, there's a lot of old school thinking. Because a lot of old school women is like that. Where they not gonna do a lot of talking. If they do something, you're not gonna find out about it. Like they gonna take to their grave. But this new wave, they ain't got no decency. They don't care about their home. They don't care about nobody but themselves. They don't even take their kids in consideration, how they dress, how they flaunt themselves around, how they represent themselves, and then want to cry about it later about some videos being posted. And it's like, man, once you put it in the internet or the universe, you can't take that shit back. You can't take it back. So you got to be careful on what you put out there. Nowadays, people don't leave nothing to nobody's imagination anymore. And honestly, if you built up a certain way, men can see that you built up, even with regular clothes on. If you that built up, trust me, men can see that. Even if you're not wearing nothing tight, they can see it. You know, if you try to attract men, it's like, like I said before, I said on this, talked about this before about people being thirsty and women are called dudes thirsty, but it's like you put provocative stuff up to draw people's attention. You make what they say, OnlyFans pages, make website pages selling bedroom clothing, provocative photo shoot pictures. But it's like, what's the purpose of you doing this if you're not trying to get attention or get traffic on your page? The same people that you saying that's thirsty is the same people you targeting to make money off of. You know what I'm saying? So you can't have it both ways. But you got a lot of that going on. You know, people call people thirsty. Or a loser or whatever. I seen a video somebody posted where a dude sent for a gal on the internet. He sent for her. So she was talking all this nasty shit to him and what she was gonna do. She said something about him sending her a pic of his Johnson. She was cool with it. She was with it. If it was a problem, she would have said something. So she got the dude all worked up. Dude, they've been talking for like 3-4 months, 2-3 months, 3 months. He sends for her. She get down there, she walking around in his crib, half naked, eating his food. They going shopping, they doing this, they doing that. And dude basically wanted some sex. And she was like, nah. So he made a video, filmed her, and was like, you gonna have to shake. So he on the way to the airport, she like, man, get me up out of here. So he was like, man, you knew what it was, because we've been talking back and forth for 3 months. Only for her to go down there and basically she reneged. Everybody got an opportunity or a right to change their mind. But my thing is, stuff like that, you a user. You a user and you manipulating folks. If you with it and then you pull up and like, I ain't with it. Okay. You not with it, that's fine. You can be not with it, but you gonna get up out of here. Like, you not gonna keep using me if you know what it is. Like, me and you done already, had this established. And apparently they had this established and old girl reneged. And she packed up her shit. He's like, man, I'm gonna drop you off at the airport. And now I think it's petty of him or what he did next, but he paid for the ticket for her to come down there. And to go back, he canceled it. But she ain't know it until the end. He's like, well, since you say that I'm a sucker dude and I'm this and I'm that, and you came down here using me up, you using me, well, I got something for you. Since you got it like that and you independent, you don't need me or need us, I tell you what, you pay for your own ticket back. He dropped off. Man, I'm like, look, there's a lot of that going on where people just entitled. It's like, man, you want what you want. You couldn't honestly expect. I said this old stuff, but I said this to somebody ex companion. And this is why we had parted ways. But I ain't naming no names, but it's similar to that. Where they had a friend of the family was cool with their brothers or whoever they people. And the dude was coming around the family back again. And he was trying to shoot his shot at my girl at the time. And she kept telling me about it. And I told her flat out, like, you know, you saying you a friend of the family, he a friend of the family. And he look at you like a sister, supposedly. And he coming around you, and then he tried you more than once, and he tried to take it. I was mad about it. She didn't want me to be involved, so I never got a chance to catch up with the dude or get involved or whatever. Make a long story short, dude was doing, like, buying her stuff, doing stuff. And I told her before anything popped off, I was like, man, keep on taking gifts from this dude. Dude gonna start expecting something. Ain't nobody just gonna be doing stuff for you. He trying to kick that sister shit. But I think dude like you. He keep the stuff that he doing for you. It's not a brotherly sister thing. It ain't no reason for it. Like, it's random. You saying that the dude don't like you. I'm telling you, as a man, I know what he's trying to do. Everything I said was spot on. And dude kept trying. He tried her a couple of times. And, you know, I cut ties with her because she kept entertaining it. So, it's like, hey, man, you know what you're doing. I don't get people like, man, you try to throw it off on homeboy like it's just him. Nah, it's you too, because you entertaining it. If it ain't no family function and dude there, if y'all kicking it off by yourself, then it's no longer that. If y'all ain't never kicked it like that before, which you said you didn't, it's just your brother friend. And y'all never kick it like that. You know, you around the family is a family atmosphere versus y'all kicking it off to yourself and dude trying to, like, personally get to know you one-on-one. See, when you do that type of shit, man, you open the floodgates to bullshit. So, that's my take. But I look at it like it all applies with the Ashanti thing because, again, when she signed that contract, it should be just about the music. But when she crossed the line with Irv, then it ain't about music no more. And he can use that and bend it the way he want to bend it. And she put him in a space where she allowed him in her world in a different type of way where she's giving him power. And then it got out of hand where homeboy can't let go. You turned him out. But then you try to turn it around like he's some bugaboo dude. In reality, yeah, you was fucking him to get what you want. And then whatever you wanted, you didn't get it. Obviously, because your relationship with Murdine got sour. But one would say Irv's an asshole or egotistical, but you lay down with that asshole. You lay down with that egotistical man. For what purpose? What ends? For your music career. Get you spots, get you opportunities, get you, certain type of, a speedy run through the industry. It's like, hey, if I'm gonna lay down with the top executive. 9 times out of 10, he gonna put my stuff in more priority than anybody else because I'm laying down with him. Why do I say that? That don't always work like that, but a lot of times it do, depending on who you are and how you look. Why do I say that happens? It can happen. Mariah Carey is a prime example of that. What make you think that she became big the way she was? When she came into the industry, she can pass for white. Nobody never knew that Mariah Carey was mixed. Nobody didn't know that until down the road. When we started finding out, you know, her sister had passed, I think, for AIDS or HIV or something like that. And she's mixed. Nobody didn't know that, but the way they put and promoted Mariah Carey, they promoted her like she was a white woman. The way it was promoted and everything was put together, her look and everything, you could have swore up and down she was a white woman. But she's not. But she was dealing with none other than legendary Tommy Mottola, which was the top executive CEO, quote unquote, of Sony Records. The same Tommy Mottola that Michael Jackson went in on before he died. Before he was finna do his tour, he went in on Tommy Mottola and them and what type of dirty business, shady business they was doing in the industry. And Michael Jackson outsmarted all of them and got damn near over 50% of Sony's catalog. Michael Jackson. The Beatles. I think he had some of Beyonce's catalog too. It was a whole lot of people. M's catalog, I heard about that too. That was rumored to be too. I hate when people ride down my street. Who the fuck is this? But yeah, Tommy Mottola was had a personal relationship with Mariah, and why he had that relationship with her, he was pushing her shit. Her album was going 10 million. Her earlier work, before she started fucking with the blacks and started messing with us and messing with the hip hoppers, she wasn't selling those records. She stopped selling those records, and whatever appeal she had in the white community, it was rubbing off. Meaning that they wasn't buying her records like they used to buy her records because of the association of people that she was associated with versus when she first came out, the look she had, and before the world knew her as who she is now. It's just a thought, but he's ex something else, man.
GPS signal locked.
Yep, but I ain't finna hold y'all. I'm finna get on in here and finish my food and lay down. I gotta put my face on the metal, man. I gotta grind, so I'm out of here. But enjoy, man. I'm gonna put this probably on my YouTube page, but enjoy. Alright, man. Y'all be good. Gone.